All right, guys, let's connect today. Make sure we're good to go. August 11th, 2024, coming at you for our live stream. Yeah, today is a good day. We're here. We missed last week. Wait for YouTube to connect and everything to catch up and for people to join and all that stuff. So hopefully you're safe and sound and you're doing well. You know, a difference a week makes in someone's life is pretty awesome. You know, it's kind of crazy to think that too, you know. But last week we was going to do a stream, but I didn't feel well, and the hurricane was going around here in Florida, and there was definitely a 30-second delay, at least from YouTube, as I just connect right now. But we'll see how it connects, everything. If you're watching it on the replay, we'll talk about, I guess, Walking Dead stuff. There's not much to talk about, any other topics. I mean, we'll just have a generalized chat about some stuff, and yeah, hopefully everybody's doing well on this Sunday, August 11th, 2024. The schools here in Florida where I live start back to school tomorrow. So that's going to suck for traffic and just being around, just driving to work bright and early Monday morning, which Monday morning sucks anyway, right? But yeah, so I'm trying to get to the point where I can retire. I like that FIRE principle, financially independent, retire early. That's what I'm still trying to work on. So every paycheck I get, pay some bills, pay some stuff, put some money somewhere to invest in it, because you got to make that money investing, making it work for you, you know? So hopefully you're safe and sound wherever you are. If you were in Florida or Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, anywhere up the East Coast, Hurricane Debbie was a pain in the butt. And we got another one brewing down in the, Atlantic Ocean area. That's probably just going to go east of Florida is what the early predictions say, but that's what they said about Debbie initially too, so hopefully it still goes east, but we'll have to see. So Tim at Negan 1 and everybody that's joining us as we speak, thank you for taking the time this Sunday and every Sunday too. So Carol, how you doing? Feeling better, she asks. Yes, I am. So, for the past week, I felt, a lot of stomach pain, a lot of problems, a lot of just stuff not going right in my body. For those who don't know, I have Crohn's disease, and that's it can be small bowel, large bowel, any part of the colon, that small intestine, large intestine, that can be affected by it. And my stomach was, so I was on Humira for years, and then CVS said they're not going to cover Humira anymore because there's generics, biosimilars. And so I was like, okay, I'll take the biosimilar. It's covered there. We'll try it out since April. And I guess it wasn't impacting me the same way Humira was, or it wasn't helping me like Humira was. It is how I got this C over the 3 months that I was on it. And I don't know if it was a combination of being on the new drug for so many months, being dehydrated, or being some stomach bug or stomach flu or something. I don't know. But for a whole week, I wasn't feeling really good. And it started that weekend. Last week was the hurricane coming on and not feeling well. And I was like, I'm just going to hunker down, do that. I'm going to make sure I can come back next Sunday, which is today, and I'm feeling much better. So, and I believe Carol is the one that told me about Your Honor. So Your Honor is starring Bryan Cranston, and it was a Showtime show originally. And I never watched it on Showtime. It's on Netflix now. And we started season 2. And a lot of people said that it should have only been one season. But I don't know what they're talking about, because season 2 just elaborates and goes on to the story a little bit. And yeah, I don't know if it's necessary, but I want to see it wrapped up with, Judge Deciano and Jimmy Baxter and Big Mo and Little Mo and, Eugene. I want to see what happens with all these and the mayor and all this stuff. So hopefully it gets an ending. I don't know if it's going to be a good ending, if there's going to be more seasons or not, but Your Honor is on Netflix now. So, yeah. Negan 1 says, been away for a while, 4-week-long project at work finally done. Well, hopefully you're doing well, Negan 1, and the project is done. I know it's all about The Walking Dead on this channel and everything, but there's not really much to talk about. I don't really care about the trailers too much. So the Negan, basically Dead City's Negan-centric trailer is like, Negan's back, old school Negan's back. Well, of course he is. What was he going to be, right? So Negan 1 sorry, Negan is the one to carry the show. Sorry, I was Negan one on the brain there for a second. But Negan is the one that carries Dead City. Maggie is secondary in my opinion. Yeah, she's going to be involved with the New Babylon Marshals and Armstrong and this. And now she wants to save Negan, and we'll have to see how the new characters fit and everything's going to be there. But if they don't bring in other characters or make other story, like I don't know if the show is good enough to carry on after this season unless they're going to really connect the dots with the future characters from previous seasons of The Walking Dead and other stuff there. Because if it's going to branch out, then possibly it could work. But I just think it's kind of, we'll have to see. But right now, I'll watch it, of course. But the Daryl Dixon show, on the other hand, looks really good. I watched the first 10 minutes, and you get to see Carol and Daryl, separate parts of the world. Daryl's still in France. Carol's still in Maine trying to find Daryl. And she's kind of being Carol. She gets to the spots. And it's pretty cool. You get to see a lot more than I thought in the 10 minutes. And, Daryl has helped training Laurent against fighting walkers and this. And, they find out about Daryl goes to talk with the, head priest guy. And that he doesn't want Daryl to train Laurent anymore, and because Laurent is more, there's a bigger purpose than what Daryl's trying to do, and Daryl's just like, I'm just trying to help him survive and work on skills to survive, and he's taken interest in protect him. And so it was kind of cool to see that, as a different thing that I didn't think we would see that right away. But Daryl is in a meeting with everybody there in the church, and they find out that Baloo and a couple other people, or Falou, which is not Baloo, Falou was captured by Madame Jeanette, and they just have to go and help save them, I guess, is the plan. And so we'll have to see what happens there and this and that too. But the trailers show, Carol on a plane and gets there, and she's going to do that and crash land. And then Carol and Daryl are going to work together, and I guess they're going to try to get back home, but they can't. And we already know season 3 is going to be filmed in Spain. So the European vacation still continues. So, but we'll have to see. That'll be back in September. And then the other big thing is the trailer for From season 3. So From is definitely something where I want answers. But I think we're going to get them because we get to see stuff in the trailer. A lot of stuff was in the trailer. Pretty cool stuff. And I haven't done a trailer breakdown, and I don't know if I will. But the fact is that we're going to get some answers. They said they're probably going to set up some things and this and that. But it just looks interesting, especially with Tabitha. If you know where it ended with season 2, what's going to happen with her is definitely interesting. James, hey man, how are you doing? I can't wait for the Penguin series. I'm doing okay. I'm doing much better than last week, that's for sure. I definitely want to check out the Penguin series. I think Colin Farrell does a good job with that. You can't even tell it's him, all the prosthetics. JOK says, hello, Brian from Scorching UK. Have you watched Presumed Innocent on Apple? I have not. I believe that's with Jake Gyllenhaal, right? I have not seen that yet. I want to see the other one with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, like Instigators or something. That just came out on Apple as well. What you got? Heart of Nixie, watching the Olympics, recognizing locations from the show. Well, I watched the Olympics a little bit here and there. I watched more of the clips on YouTube because I tried to watch the Olympics one time at 8 o'clock or 8:30 at night or something, and it was commercial after commercial after commercial. And I get it, they got to make their money, but I'm there to watch the highlights, the clips, the little things here and there with Simone Biles and just the big athletes, the track and field and everything. So, but overall, it's been very good, especially men's USA basketball was really awesome. And, it's pretty cool to see, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron really be the best in the world. James asks, are you excited for the Joker with Lady Gaga? Yes and no, because when I watched the trailer, it just seems like, I don't know. I mean, so this Joker is a different kind of Joker. I'm used to, the purple suit and the green hair and the big smile and the this and the crazy stuff and the explosives and the craziness over the top. This is a different kind of Joker. And the first one worked for how it is, but it just looks kind of crazy because, like, he's on trial, but then he gets out and then with, I don't know. So I'll have to see, how it goes down. I'll definitely check it out, probably on HBO Max on there as well. So is anybody watching watched House of the Dragon? Because it's done season 2 now, and we have to wait 2 more years for season 3. And I don't know how you guys feel about House of the Dragon, but I felt like this season was pretty lackluster, and it was a huge setup season for next season. And the word is that season 4 is going to be the final season. So I'm glad all the nonsense stuff is out of the way. Like, Rhaenyra talks with Alicent, and okay, now they talk again, and they do this, and blah, blah, blah. And we have the dragons, and we're set up here, and we're set up there, and we're set up this, and we're set up there. Good. Let's get to the dragons and the battle, and now we're finally gonna get that in the 3rd season, I'm guessing. I don't read the books, but I've seen some things online about what happens to Rhaenyra and what happens with this and what happens to this dragon and that from the books. But again, the show is the show and the books are the books, and things change. So they can always do things, and I believe they did mix things up from the books, which is cool. But I mean, the whole thing with Daemon, who's probably the best character, right? I think Daemon Targaryen is easily the best character in this show. He was in Harrenhal the entire season having hallucinations of weird stuff. And then finally at the end, they're like, okay. And then it ends. And you're like, this is what I want to watch. I want to see this stuff. Let's wait 2 years now to finally get caught up. But that's okay. Umbrella Academy came back on Thursday last week, and it's only 6 episodes. The final season 3 is only 6 episodes, and my wife and I watched the first 2 episodes, and it's back to being a funny, good show. I've always liked Umbrella Academy because it's different, and it's out there, and they always have some crazy stuff going on, and superpowers are always good, and things, and just, I don't know, it's just some crazy show that's all over the place a little bit, but it works in my opinion. But, the first 2 episodes have been pretty good so far. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend it. The first season's really good. The second season, I think this is actually the 4th. No, it's the 3rd season. I think it's 3rd season. But it's and then now they're wrapping it up. But I don't know, it's works, and hopefully I get to see, a rewarding and satisfying ending. But it's always kind of cool when they bring new characters and you're like, oh, hey, it's so-and-so. And, oh, that's his wife. Oh, that's cool, too. His real wife, if you know what I'm talking about in Umbrella Academy. But overall, it's, a lot of good stuff's going on now. We're into August. It's already August 11th, guys. Before you know it, it'll be September. And then we'll be into September, which September 29th is the Daryl Dixon show. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with it, but I don't know if this season's going to be amazing. Of course, Carol and Daryl are amazing together, but the story is only as good as the story is, and the writing is the writing, and the acting is good, of course, because Melissa and Norman do an amazing job, and I think it's going to be a good season. It'll probably be better than the first season, I'm guessing, because Carol's involved, and Melissa McBride does an amazing job, and I'm so glad that they kept her alive, because she was rumored supposedly to die in the 3rd season, but then they switched it to T-Dog and kept Carol alive. So imagine if Norman was never on the show, if Daryl Dixon was never on the show, right? What would we be talking about now, right? Nothing. If Carol died in season 3, so imagine that double whammy. Norman's never on the show, or he dies early in the 1st season, which they thought about. And then Carol died in the 3rd season. Man, we would have nothing on that show. You would have Maggie. You would have Negan. But we would just have Dead City? Or would The Walking Dead not have lasted long enough? Because, without Rick, you relied heavily on Daryl. But I don't know, maybe they would have done things and brought someone else up, or it changed. I don't know. It's just crazy to think about too. So yeah, other than that, we watched no new movies or anything. What else have we really been watching? Like I said, Your Honor on Netflix, Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Olympics, of course, a little bit here and there. We're finishing up Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm on the 9th season finally, and it's the final 9th season. The 9th and final season. I didn't really suffer any damage from the hurricane. My screen got a little, damaged, but I taped it up and taped it down a little bit, and it'll do the job for right now. And I got to take care of the pool. I got my roof going to be getting repaired this week. My flat roof need to be, it was just overdue, they said. It only lasts like 7 years, and it's overdue at most. So, but we'll get that done and be going forward. And then, yeah, I'm excited to get out of August. Like, I feel like July and August are like the worst months because it's so long. It's so hot. It's just, ugh. Let's get into September, October. Like, the best part of the year, in my opinion, is like September, October, but really October, November, December. Like the last 3 months of the year, best part of the year. The last quarter of the year just brings it all home. You hopefully have cooler weather. The fall's the best part of the year, in my opinion. I'm not a pumpkin spice guy, but, cinnamon stuff in here and just feels like fall and then winter, even though I live in Florida. But a nice cool down's always good. And we got some trips coming up in November and everything. And so my dad will be here in October. And so we got a lot of stuff going on. How about you guys? What are you guys doing the rest of the year? Anything coming up for you? Because you got to have something to look forward to. Whether it's next week, next year, 6 months, 6 days, 6 weeks, whatever. You got to be able to think about something to look forward to that gives you a purpose for just getting your act together, staying healthy, getting your money together, stay motivated, stay happy, because this world and this life nowadays, it can easily bring you down. But if you work together, if you have someone you care about, a friend, a loved one, a spouse, a sibling, a parent, a neighbor, coworker, I don't know. All you need is one other person. It's good to have others, but it's need that one other solid person that's your ride or die and that can do it with you. You're a team, and hopefully it's a spouse, but, a lot of times it is. But, sometimes it's your best friend. Sometimes it's your friend you've known for a long time. And so, like, I'm getting to see my friends next year. We have a golf trip next year, and it's exciting because I haven't seen them in a while, and it'll be pretty cool. Carol says, going on an 8-day cruise in November. Nice. Where are you going, Carol? Where are you going out of? What cruise line and what destinations? Because a lot of people I have been working with, because I'm a physical therapist in Florida, so I get to see a lot of patients and meet a lot of people, meet new people all the time, and I get to meet them, I get to know them, I get to learn about them. Because one, it's just nice to do that, but also it helps get people better to see what they're into, what they want to try to get back to. It just makes sense to figure out a plan to get them better, because a lot of people I see are elderly, which makes sense, right? And so what are they going to get back to? Some people just want to get back to having less or no pain. Go back to food shopping. Go back to mall walking, pickleball. I don't know, whatever, dancing. People want to do some stuff, play golf, tennis, whatever. But some people go on vacation. A lot of people go on vacation. We had people here and there that were on vacation all the time. They were going on cruise after this, after that. And I have another lady who goes on Disney cruises all the time. And another person's going on this cruise and that cruise. And I'm like, man, that's the life right there. When I get older, I would love to go on like 2 cruises a year. Not all the time, but like May, December, something like that. Because that'd be pretty awesome just to have something to look forward to again and constantly be booking cruises, getting reward points, status, whatever, and then put it towards everything. Oh man, Aruba. That's one place I've never been to. That it's hard to get there because Aruba's like out of the way. But I looked at one yesterday. It was like Norwegian or something pops up, and I was looking at one of the Norwegian cruises, and even out of Tampa, because I want to go out of Tampa or Port Canaveral, like Orlando. And those are the two closest ones to me. And I'm like, man, Aruba came up as one of the destinations. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I want to get to Aruba. I still have to get to Puerto Rico. I still have to get to, I don't know if you can get to Cuba or not, or Haiti, and, just a couple of little islands there. But of course, Hawaii and then Alaska eventually would be our, my dream vacation is Hawaii. But also I want to add Alaska into that too, because everybody I've talked to about Alaska said it's amazing. And everything I've seen just looks amazing. you know? Like, that would be kind of a cool story if they did, even if it was like a Tales of the Walking Dead episode or a mini series of like the wilderness or something, and it was in Alaska, because there it gets freezing cold, you know, like, but also not all the time. But you have different parts where it's like you can live off the land, and you have glaciers, and you have a little town and a train and a this and a that. And it would kind of be really cool to see, like, I mean, I equate it to like a dystopian end of days type scenario, but it just would be kind of cool to see what it's like there too, because my marketer for our company, I was talking to him, he just went to Alaska with his family, and he was telling me all about it. And it just seems like it shouldn't exist in this timeline. It shouldn't be around in 2024 where it's so like rural and you have to get on a boat or a puddle jumper or like a thing to get to it. And there's some hours of daylight or no daylight or all daylight. Like, it's just such a crazy thing. And I feel like I would go there and see like everything. I'd see like a bear and an eagle and fish jumping out the water and the best blues and the greenest greens and the woods and the glaciers, and the people would be nice and everything. It would just be awesome. I don't know. I just see like down the road, and plus it'd be cooler. So my wife, she needs that. So eventually we'll get to there too. So I'll get there at some point, but you got to save that money and make that money and invest that money for sure. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm preparing for the future, but I'm not going to wait too long because nothing is guaranteed, you know. And there's nothing like not feeling well, especially with like stomach stuff or aches and pains and pressure, to just be like, I can't wait, man. Like, I don't want to be 75 years old and trying to get around Alaska, or, you know, 65 going around Hawaii. Like, nah, man. And at latest, I'm waiting until I'm like 50. So, you know, I got like 10 years to go. I'm going to save my money for the next 10 years and have it ready for my dream vacations and do it big and have the awesome suite and just do it right. Because, you know, there's good to save money and pay your bills, but what are you saving it for? Experiences, people, cherished, you know, moments. Because I want to be able to look back and be like, that was awesome, you know. And yeah, you can look back at a car or a house or a boat or a gaming system or shoes or clothes or whatever, but that stuff matters, but it doesn't really, right? Like if you could put your stuff in experiences, a lot of people say that's the best way to go, and I see why, because you make the memories, right? And you, like, how many times do you sit with your spouse or your dad or your mom or whoever, be like, remember that time we went there, or remember that time with the bird and the fries? Oh, remember that time with the car? Remember that? You know, like, you're like, oh yeah, you know. And you're like, yeah, and you bond and you reflect, and it's just like so much better than like, and it turns into priceless moments. And of course it costs money, but it's like priceless. It's stuff in your mind, you know, making those memories. That's just, to me, it's where it's at. And I don't know if you realize that when you're 17 or 27 or whatever. Like, when you get older, I feel like you start to reflect more and think about your life more and be like, man, you know, I should do this or I should do that. Because I told my dad, I'm like, you know, he's going to be 75 this year. And I'm like, I don't want to hear later on that you wish you did this. Let's go do it, whatever it is. You know, so I'm trying to get him out of his zone to like book vacations and do this. And because I know he said he wants to go to Niagara Falls and he wants to go to Dollywood. And that's it. But I'm like, what else? What else you got? Because we're trying to do it, you know. But then it's like, how do you have the time and the money and the PTO and the travel and this too, you know? So we'll figure it out. But I don't want to dilly-dally and wait too long, because nothing's guaranteed. You know, like, I was feeling a little off during the week, but then like by Friday night, I was feeling more pressure and pain and just not good. Basically everything you need Pepto-Bismol for. And I was on Pepto-Bismol for like 5 days. And I was like, this ain't right. and I went to the doctors, and they didn't do nothing for me. They were going to give me nothing. They wanted me to do test work and this and that too. And I was like, no, you got to give me something, because I was going to go to the hospital. And they were like, well, we have to find. I was like, no. I need anti-inflammatory or something to help with the muscle spasms and the pressure and the tightness. Like, it's very uncomfortable. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, and I felt bad for trying to be difficult, but I was like, you don't understand. Like, I need something. I shouldn't even be in this appointment right now. So I had to adjust my schedule and that, and it was just really annoying. So, like, just think about normal everyday life, like now. Like, we're not living in the Walking Dead universe or some dystopian end of days scenario, right? And I had stomach pressure, pain, just all this crazy things. And you know how many people would die just from that stuff in the end of days scenario? Like from a toothache, from a cold, from a cut, from a simple infection. Because, like, you just don't have antibiotics, or you just don't have medications. You just don't have pharmacy. You can't just go to Walgreens and go pick up your prescriptions. Or you can't even go see the doctor to go get a prescription, to go pick it up, to go take it. Like, those days are gone. And so you'd have to be extremely careful of stuff too, or have like really good genetics and be like Wolverine and just be able to heal yourself, or I guess develop homeopathic, live off the land, or make your own antibiotics, but that's always kind of stuff too. And so I can't help being a writer of stuff in my mind for my next book series. And I've been getting more and more and more ideas for stuff. And so, I wish I had a little more free time, because then I could start the book series a little more involved. And, eventually I'm just going to have to just bite the bullet and do it and write more, because, I'm motivated to write again, and I'm eager to get writing again. But it's just tough to like get up early and work all day and then come back home and then do this and take care of the house and the cats and what's going on here, and then work out and come home and do that and then get up and rinse and repeat 5 days a week. And, so it's just difficult, because like being a full-time therapist now, it's different from being a part-time therapist and being more time for YouTube and stuff. And now I have time for a couple little things here and there. And, I don't know if you're like myself, but like when you get motivated to do something, you're like, go, 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 go. And that's what I'm in the motivated time to like clean up the house. So like I'm trying to clean up this or throw this out or put this thing, and I'm a room at a time. So like a little bit with the kitchen, a little bit with the garage, a little bit in this room, a little bit this bedroom, a little bit that, and clean stuff and wipe stuff down and throw stuff out and whatever, I'm at that stage right now, because I'm getting ready for my golf trip next year. And I wish it was cooler out, because I could go actually play some golf or go to the driving range at least. But I can't do that because it's way too hot out right now too. So eventually, got to get going in life, and hopefully you're at. So I don't know who's all here and what stage everyone's at in life, and but all I can say is you got to live life to the fullest and plan for the future a little bit. Save your money, invest your money. Do this, do that, pay off your bills, get rid of debt. Have no debt is the way to be. Debt free is the way to be. And then save up stuff, and but value the stuff that you do have, of course, and then try to get a side hustle going and have a rewarding career and have a rewarding life, So it's just all these things. It's just kind of something. Let me see, like, what's going on here in the chat. Musa, do you think there is any country that hasn't been filled with walkers or affected by wildfire in The Walking Dead? That's a great point. Like, I wish they would have talked about that on the Rick and Michonne show, or even The World Beyond. And they talked about it a little bit here and there, but that would have been the spot to have that. I don't think so. I think the world was really, the virus just made everybody sick. Like, everybody was infected in the world, as we know France was, and we know America was when North America was. And so I would assume everywhere it was, and it would have been cool to see different stuff here and there, but they just never went that route. But I think everybody's infected for sure. So, but because seeing Musa's name Has anyone seen the Mufasa trailer? Because it's a live action Lion King movie. That's the prequel to the Lion King, because it's about Mufasa being a cub and then how he becomes Mufasa. And it looks really good. Like I didn't like the Lion King remake of the original animated movie because that's pretty much perfect. Like, the Lion King is pretty tough to beat. Like, I think that the Lion King is my favorite Disney animated movie. And it's easily there. And Aladdin is a close second, but then there's like everything else. And the Mufasa story looks really good to see the story of him. And it gets a little crazy with these white lions, and they fight, and they're trying to do this, and but it's definitely, check it out. It looks much better than I thought it was going to be too. So, but I'm gonna wait, as with anything too. Just wait long enough, and you'll see it. So, like, I saw it before not last week, but the week before that, we saw Deadpool Wolverine. Hopefully, you guys have seen it. If not, there's a million spoilers going all over the place that are really spoiling that movie by now. And it's a good movie. I mean, if you haven't seen it and you wait, it's fine. It's nothing you have to see, but it's worth watching if you're a Deadpool fan and setting things up. And I kind of wish they kind of set things up a little bit more with the mutants and X-Men and everything going forward. But it's all right. Then we'll see where it goes, and the future of that is cool. And I don't know. Yeah, Lady Deadpool made the most sense for who it was going to be and everything too, But then you start to see who the other Deadpools were, and definitely look up if you haven't seen it, because there's a couple other celebrities that are there that you may not know. Sorry, got a little throat irritation. So other than that, guys, it's 1,000,000 degrees wherever you're at. I'm sure it's hot too. I thought the Olympics have been good. I've seen to watch like the Simone Biles several Olympics being the best gymnast of all time is great, and I feel like it's our moment that we're living in our generation, and we get to see these great athletes, because athletes today are bigger, faster, stronger, more talented, more agile. They're just better. Because they are, and that's what evolution is. That's what nutrition and diet and science and everything is, right? Like the whole goal, I would assume, of a lot of people is to find a spouse, to have kids, and have those kids be better than them, better, well off, smarter, just better. I don't know how to say it, better all around. And then rinse and repeat and get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. And that's, I think, the goal for a lot of people. But I don't know if that happens because of a variety of things. But who knows? Is that kind of what the goal is here? With athletes, I would assume that's where we're going. But eventually, you can only have so fast of a time running or sprinting or jumping or running or playing a sport or whatever it is. Like, you can only do so much. The human body can only max out so much. You can only be so strong in certain muscle groups and be so fast and fast twitch muscle fibers and slow twitch muscle fibers. And then you have to be able to put it all together in sports performance and sports medicine. And so there's stuff that always, like, it was really cool to see the U.S. women's soccer team win the gold medal, back at top, back being there, some of the best players in the world. The men's basketball team won the gold medal, amazing. The women's basketball team won the gold medal. I mean, they basically should, right? I mean, they are the best athletes in the world in those sports. And yes, the other countries have caught up, especially in the men's game. Like, Serbia was a really tough game for them. But that's great, and that was good, and you get to see how amazing Steph Curry is, the best shooter of all time. Will there be another Steph Curry? Maybe. Like, when there was, like, probably Oscar Robinson, and then, Wilt Chamberlain, and I'm blanking on the guy for the Celtics, but Bill Russell, and then Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, and like, who's the next? And the next, and the next, and the next, right? And like before, it was like Jim Brown and Walter Payton and Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith and this, and then all these other quarterbacks and all this stuff, and all the people getting better and better and better and better. And now Tom Brady and then Patrick Mahomes and there. It's like, will they eventually be the best? Like, all the records are made to be broken, but I don't know. Some records, I don't know if they'll ever be touched. And that's okay. Like, if they are, great. If not, it's all about entertainment and just keeping track of stuff and just to show dominance and competition and just how great people were, too. And everybody's always like, the best generation is theirs. The best generation is theirs. No, we're the best generation. Now we're the best generation. And it's like, it's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of stuff. But it's always kind of funny to see that too. And, I have nothing but respect for people, especially the older generation, because they've had it so much harder than everybody of today. Like, if you ever want to get a perspective of somebody, go talk to someone who's like 90 years old. Right now, 90 years old. And see where they were from and see what they've been through. And hopefully they don't have dementia, and hopefully they can have a good, meaningful conversation that is just telling the truth about their life and everything. And, it's just amazing to see where people are, because eventually they're all going to be gone. And you're not going to have people talking about their life experiences of World War II and whatever on there too. Eventually they're going to be gone, because, it was the 80th anniversary of D-Day this year. And that's crazy. So in 10 years, I don't know if any of those people are going to still be alive. I mean, probably not. Probably less than 10 years. But they'll be gone, but they'll still be making movies about World War II and all, they'll still be making all that group stuff on there too. They're making that villainous group there from World War II. That's always going to be a person of interest. And so it's just crazy to think about it too. And yes, people of today have been through a lot too, and I'm not trying to put that down there, but there's a hierarchy of needs, right? And at the bottom, the base level, the most structurally important level to hierarchy of needs is safety, security, like being alive, knowing that you can have somewhere to be safe, like your home, like your house, like your apartment, like your condo, like your whatever. Like, you can go home and be safe, and you don't have to worry about, losing your life or being in danger or getting hurt or getting there too. You can cook, you can clean, you can be, have food, water, shelter, you're safe, all the basic needs in life. But now people have that, and you don't have to worry about that. And they're worried about social media and clicks and likes and the dopamine response, basically, of getting a notification about something. And it's just kind of crazy to think about where we are, because we have it too good. We have it too nice. We have it too easy, right? You don't have to go hunt for our food. We don't have to go do anything like that. Like, in a zombie apocalypse situation, the world gets back to being a dangerous spot. You probably lose electricity. We probably have no power for a while, and you can't go do the things like you would normally do. I guess you could, but you're going to go to a fast food place, and they're not going to be open. They're not going to have any power. And I guess you could go try to see what you can do there, or go to a convenience store or a supermarket. But then you have to worry about people. And then the dangers of that. Are people the problem? Are the walkers the problem? Are the virus the problem? Are whatever, vampires or aliens or werewolves or whatever the actual thing would happen would be there too. But most likely it would be like a virus or a sickness that would be there too. And, it happens all the time. Like, every couple years, there's something that's out there that's trying to wipe the human race off the earth. And it's a battle of survival of the fittest, right? That's not just us. That's the animal kingdom. That's insects. That's viruses. That's bugs. That's, birds. That's everything. We think of it as, we have to be the strongest people ever. We're just one group of organisms on this planet, and we're not even the biggest, by the way, too. Like, there's a bunch of other things called, insects that outnumber us, probably a bajillion to one. Like, it's so crazy. But the thing about it is, we think we're the top dog. the top notch, the top tier thing. And we are, because we have the most complex brains and everything on there as well. But, we have to have a symbiotic relationship with the earth. If we don't, we're going to lose it. We're going to lose all those things, is my opinion. Some people don't see it that way too. And, all I know is that it's been the hottest summer ever and the hottest stuff ever. And so global warming is a problem. I don't know if we can fix it, if there's anything we can do about it, but we have to take care of it. We have to take care of clean water, and we have to be able to take care of the basic necessities in life. But now we're losing that. Like, it's crazy to think about the stuff that we're arguing about for this election for November. It's just ridiculous, and we talk about politics a little bit in the clinic from time to time, and with the right people, of course, right? And I'm not here to get into a whole conversation about that, but it's just crazy what we're talking about in some of these rallies or organizations, or wait till the ads start coming up and wait till the things start coming up, because that's November. We're in August, so we're a couple months away. And now that we have the two candidates that are actually going to go against each other for November, we'll get to see what happens there too. So just, I don't know, I'm not a political person by any means, but it's just one of those crazy things that the older I get, the more I see the value in it. But I also see the value in people and working together and banding together and just common sense decision making and common sense things. But then people get in the way, and money gets in the way, and who's going to make the money, and the policies that are going to be there to make the people rich. And, I don't know. So I'll have to see what happens with it down the road. But so I was curious, guys, like, how many people are still watching or have went back and rewatched The Walking Dead? Because, like, I did that when it was on and everything to kind of see where it's going. But now that it's over, like, I don't know if I'll ever go back and rewatch The Walking Dead. Especially because there's, like, so many episodes. Like, I can watch clips and parts and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's too much. It's too much material. Like, it's 11 seasons. Like, I still stand by the best amount of time is like 6 seasons, 5-6 seasons. Because you build it, you ramp it up, you get to the apex, you come back down, and then you conclude it. Done. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's it. Done. Like, it's a perfect arc of amount of seasons. Especially if you have the same amount of, 10, 10, 10, 13, 10, 16, whatever it is, certain amount of episodes too. So, and we're also watching Hard Knocks with the Chicago Bears, which is always good. And, we got football season coming up. But is any other show coming out this August or September? Because I know From starts September 22nd. Daryl starts September 29th. But what about before that? Football season starts whatever that Thursday is there. So I guess the 5th. So the football season starts the 5th. So, like, I think there's a game the 6th, too. It's like the Packers-Eagles. And then college football is the week before, the 31st. And then you got the 8th for football. But then, like, the shows are all in here because you got, because I think Labor Day weekend is that, September 1st and 2nd, because the 2nd is that Monday. And then you got football on the 8th, 15th. You have football off after that as well. But, is there any other shows coming in on the 8th or the 15th or anything on there too? Tulsa King, that's what it was. Thank you, Tim. So Tulsa King on the 15th. So that's good. So yeah, you got football, Tulsa King, From, and then Daryl show. So all we got to do is get to Labor Day weekend on the 2nd. I'm excited for Tulsa King. I want to see what happens with that too. I like the trailer, especially when like Sylvester Stallone's like in the jail and he's like locked up and the guy's like causing problems or whatever, and I guess he knocks out the guy and the guard comes around. He's like, what happened here? He's like, he's sleeping. What happened to him? He's sleeping. But I like Sylvester Stallone, so we'll have to see, what happens with Tulsa King and up there. James asks, I don't know, is Ride with Norman coming back? I don't know. Like, I feel like Norman Reedus is like done so much for AMC, not even just with The Walking Dead, but Ride with Norman Reedus was a good show. Of course, Walking Dead, and now the Daryl show, and other stuff here. Like it's just pretty cool to see that too. So, James asks, what movies are you excited for next year? I don't know. Like, I'm not really excited about anything for next year. I do want to see Captain America: Brave New World. That looks very interesting. I don't even know what's coming out next year. When is that Mortal Kombat movie coming out? Because Carl Urban is going to be Johnny Cage. So I can't wait to see how he pulls that off. Negan wants his Bike Riders movie good with Norman. I haven't seen it, but I saw it's available on Amazon. Is that where you watched it, Negan 1? But I'll definitely have to check it out. I haven't even seen the Axel F movie, too. So just been slacking on different stuff to watch. Especially if something is like too long. I'm like, nah, we need like an hour long. We need an hour long movie or an hour and a half or something on there, too. So it's like, yeah, there. But with House of the Dragon gone now, we'll be able to catch that out, catch up on different things and watch that, and definitely. But yeah, it's a good cast. It looks good, and Norman's the quintessential bike rider, so he loves to be on a motorcycle any which way. I think is he going to be like 85 years old on a motorcycle? Like, I know he's not that old yet, but when do you give up riding a motorcycle? Like when your hands can't do it, when your balance is off. I don't know. Batman 2. When's that come out, James? James is definitely the DC fan. He likes Joker. He likes the Penguin, the Batman. But yeah, because I haven't been in the know with like the movies that are coming out for next year. Because like I know Cobra Kai comes out later this year for the second part, and then the third part is coming out next year, and is Stranger Things coming out next year? Like, when is that coming back? I know also Yellowstone comes back November. I don't know, what is that, November? Let's see. I want to say 11th, but that's probably wrong. Is it a Sunday show then? It might be like the 10th or so. I don't know. But I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, people do get that 3-wheeler. I see people rocking that too. James says October 2nd, 2026. Man, that's crazy long for a lot of that stuff too. And then we'll have to see what James Gunn does with the DC Universe. Peacemaker season 2. It's a good time for shows and entertainment. Like there's people are doing like all the good stuff, putting stuff together. And so my wife and I, we were watching Days of Thunder, because it's on it's on CMT. It was on CMT this weekend, and we put it on, and it was the same part again when Cole drives around Rowdy's car on the track, and then it went to commercial just like it does. Then it came back, and I'm like, they really need to make another Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise and all those, John C. Reilly and all these people still being alive. Because it would be just as big, if not big. Well, I don't know. Was Days of Thunder just as big as Top Gun? I don't think so, right? I think Top Gun is bigger than Days of Thunder. But if Tom Cruise got involved with another Days of Thunder, like Days of Thunder, Cold Trickle or whatever it's called, just like Top Gun Maverick, like it would be, I think, awesome. I think it would do well again. But I don't know. I have to see, what they would want to do. But because it's still, I like Days of Thunder. I don't know if you guys like that or not. But when I watch it, because I just love, what's his name? Robert Duvall, I think, is the, not coach, the pit man, the guy who's on his team, the leader of his team. And it's just, I don't know, it's just good. It just works for me. I don't know. And then plus you could have Rowdy. You could have the characters. I Am Legend 2 supposed to be coming. I don't know. I don't know what the status of that is. You know, like I thought I Am Legend was such a letdown. Like I Am Legend is a good movie, but until the end, like the way they ended. And now I don't even know what they're going to do with that too. So, you know, so after I'll watch it. I like I Am Legend. I like the idea of it, and I like the premise of the first half of the movie. But, you know, when the dog dies, it changes the whole movie. You know, which sucks. Alien Romulus. I'll definitely check that on streaming. So is the premise of Alien Romulus that they're going to find the ship from the first Alien movie? And these new people find it, and all hell breaks loose? Is that the premise of it? Because that's a cool connection. Like, see, the other Alien movies make no big enough connections, especially Alien 3. Like, what's going on there? Like, that just takes it down this, because Alien is good. Aliens is great. That's my favorite Alien movie of this series. Alien 3 is weird. And then it's like Alien versus Predator, and then Alien Prometheus, and Alien Covenant, and then Alien this, and then it's just crazy, you know? And let's get back to like what it was. Where did these aliens come from? Let's kind of get a little more backstory. Just like Predator, you know, Predator is great. Predator 2 is like better than I thought when I watched it on AMC or whatever. But it's not good. It's still kind of crazy, but it's all right. It's better than I thought. And then, you know, they do Predators and The Predator and this and that. And so like they have all these crazy Predator things. But let's get back to basics. And it kind of does with the latest one, Prey, on Hulu. I thought it was pretty good, and I think they're making a second one and everything too as well. Negan one says he just watched the older movie Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey. It was decent. It's okay. It's just a long movie. Like it's a long movie, Interstellar, and there's a lot to unpack with what happened, and then the dust and the corn and the this and the that, and then the robot. It's just a lot going on. Like it's all right. You know, I'm a science fiction fan and stuff, but I don't know. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of good shows, a lot of good movies, a lot of good, you know, streaming stuff, and, you know, a lot of good stuff to come. You know, we'll have to see what's going to happen with, Nisi says, good afternoon. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with the future of stuff. And hopefully the Walking Dead franchise gets reinvigorated. Like we need something like to either put it out its misery or jumpstart that baby with a battery pack and we're rocking and rolling again. What we need is like a fresh start. Like just like wrap it up and have it done. And then something happens and then boom, here we go again. Or something, or just end it and move on with our lives, you know? Like, I just don't want to be carried on and just do this and go, okay, and go through the motions and call something a name, like Fear the Walking Dead, trash, and this, trash, and World Beyond, okay, little tease, but nothing of significance, you know? Yeah, Fallout's good. Tim says, watched Fallout one season, a little strange. It definitely is, but it's a video game, so like it's probably not the best writing there is, but it's good. I thought it was a good season, and you know I'm excited for season 2 and whatever they're going to do with that. But you know I would just like them to just get into the world of you know different shows and different stuff that is entertaining and worthwhile, you know, and I'll see what else is going to be there too. I've never played the Borderlands games, but there's a movie evidently that they made, and the reviewers and the people that have seen it said it's terrible. It's not funny. It's not good. So I don't know. I think Kevin Hart's in it and like whatever. I haven't seen it and I don't know anything about it, but like that ain't good, you know. And Kevin Hart is usually like the same over the top yelling guy who's crazy over the top because he's so short, so he's got to be so animated to be this. And he's kind of funny, he has his moments, but like he's the same thing, and he was in too many things all the time. You just couldn't get away from him, and it's just too much. And then I don't know. It's kind of like The Rock as well. Like he was in everything for a while, and he plays the same part. He's not really acting too differently and stuff, but it's like, yeah, he's all right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably not going to be going to the movies for a long, long, long time, you know. Like, Deadpool was the thing that I was like, you know what? We got some gift cards. Let's do it. But, you know, nowadays you just wait and stuff will be on streaming. Like, I'll watch eventually. I got to watch the Bike Riders movie. I got to watch A Quiet Place Day One. Got to watch, you know, a lot of stuff that was coming out. But eventually we'll get there. And that's the beauty thing of it. There's no rush to watch it, you know. And there's plenty of time because once it's created and produced and put out there, it'll be somewhere. It'll be somewhere. And if you wait long enough, it'll be free to watch. And there's just a lot of stuff now. Like we got to be first. We got to get this. We got to get our phone. We got to get our thing. We got to do this. We got to keep getting the next latest and greatest things. But do we really? Like, I don't think so, right? Like if you got a car, if you have a phone, if you got a house, if you got an apartment or whatever you got, and you're good and it's safe and secure and clean and it's good. If you want to save up your money and buy something, good. But like, you know, like I'm an old school. I got a PS4. And I want a PS5, and I could go buy it right now. But I'm going to wait and try to get a Black Friday deal or try to get it for Christmas or get something like that where it's a deal because I don't need it right now. I mean, all I've been playing right now is Fortnite, and it works perfectly fine on PS4. And I'm super excited for next week for the season 5. It's the Marvel season, and it looks pretty amazing in the trailers and all this new stuff coming out. So that'll be next week. So I'll definitely be on there if anybody plays Fortnite. But other than that, guys, hopefully you're safe and sound. And, you know, we got 3 weeks left in August. Yep, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll have September 1st, that Sunday. So, you know, to be here before you know it. 3 weeks, it'll be September 1st, and that'll be Labor Day weekend, and we'll be enjoying a nice 3-day weekend and getting ready for the football season and fantasy football and everything there too. And so, you know, I got a lot of bills coming up. I got to pay my house insurance. I got to pay my car insurance. Got to pay all this stuff this month too. But, you know, that's life. You got to prepare for it, get prepared and move on from it. But, you know, that's part of it. Staying alive gets a lot of cumbersome things. But, you know, you can get through it no matter what it is. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing is that people don't know how to cope with problems now. And it's not like people who were born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. Like no one ever had problems, right? We always had problems. If you were alive, there's problems. If you exist, there's problems. There's good, there's bad, there's this, there's financial stuff, there's health stuff, there's whatever, you know? And so it's crazy. But ultimately, we get through it. And you can get through it no matter what comes your way. You will get through it. I guarantee it. It might not be easy, but you can do it. Slizzle2290, thank you for the super chat. Q&A, do you think CRM trained Rick is the best fighter in The Walking Dead right now? Probably, right? So, like, the best fighter, in my opinion, was Jesus, and he's dead. Merle was a good fighter. He's dead. Rick with the blade and the skills, the hand-to-hand skills, it's tough to beat. Like I don't know who would beat who can take him out. But Rick always gets beat up, you know, like, but that doesn't mean he'll lose the fight. He'll just take some punishment. Like, I think he would take out Negan. He could take out Daryl. I don't know. Aaron has the weapon hand, and he was taught by Jesus. So that's a good. I don't know. That'd be a good fight. Aaron versus Rick. But like you said, Rick was trained, so I think so. Let me just reply to that. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely think that's a good question. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think who is the best fighter in The Walking Dead right now? Because a lot of people, I guess Mercer maybe. I don't know. Like we haven't really. Mercer's. I don't know. Mercer. I don't know. Now I just thought of Mercer. Probably takes him out. I think Rick would lose to Mercer. So my vote is Mercer. But all right, guys, that's my hour. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Thank you, Slizzle2290, for the super chat. It's always welcome and appreciated, that's for sure. But I'll be back next Sunday, barring any problems. But, I'm trying to problem solve what was going on with it. And that's life, too. You got to problem solve. I talk to my patients all the time about it, about how to get to the root cause of problems, whatever it is. Morgan, that's a good one, Anissa. Yeah, I didn't even think about Morgan. Morgan. Man, so we got so in a battle tournament, you could have like Rick, Aaron, Morgan, Mercer. Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like Mercer's got him because Morgan got beat up by Jesus. So I think Morgan's a little vulnerable too. I just feel like Mercer's younger and strong, and he's got some skills. And I go with Mercer. But like I was saying, guys, whatever comes your way, good, bad, or different, you can handle it. The universe only puts what you can handle on your plate, even though if you feel like you can't. And trust me, I've been there, where I felt like crap, and I had to go to this all-company meeting, and I had to deal with the clinic, and I had to do this, and I didn't want to lose. And it's like all this crazy stuff, and it was a lot. Then you got to take care of your house, and take out the trash, and take out this, and this, and you're not feeling well. And then when you feel better, you're like, wow. I cherish just having good health and feeling well. It puts things in perspective to be like, man, I'm happy that I'm just feeling better. I'm good. I don't need anything besides having good health too. So, but ultimately, guys, you can do it. Like I really true about that too. I'm a transparent, honest person. I'm not some of these fake people on social media and YouTube. And if you've been here long enough, hopefully you realize that and you feel that way too, because I truly am. I'm just transparent, good, bad, vulnerable, whatever, But thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it too. So thank you, Anissa. Or I want to say Anissa. Is it like Anissa or Anissa? Because I don't want to say it wrong, and I apologize if I am. But when you see a name, it's always like, how do they say it? But I appreciate it, taking the time for being here this Sunday. I'll be back next Sunday, I said, barring if I'm not feeling bad. But I'm going to try to problem solve and see how it is so I don't have that bad of pain or problems ever again, because it was pretty bad. But thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate all the love and support and kind words. And remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals no matter what they are. Keep working, keep grinding. You can do it. And I'll see you